This is the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abish, founder of Abish Financial Services.
A lot of firms out there say they will do tax planning, say they will do Social Security planning and RMD planning, and typically they just do investment management. They want your money.
You've worked hard your whole life to earn and save. Now you need a plan to make that money work hard for you.
Where do you stand today with your retirement accounts, with your insurance, with Social Security, RMDs, taxes, all of it? This is how we need to think. We need to think outside of the box on these matters.
Abe is here to help you unlock the keys to your retirement.
It is hard to know what course of action to take, what planning is proper with everything that continues to go on in the market. I mean, so many of us are sitting here wondering, when is it all going to settle down, Abe? It feels like there's no end in sight.
Probably not until this inflation issue, which was transitional, right? Where it was transitory.
It was this time last year. They were saying it's not going to last. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's not an issue. Yeah. 40-year high inflation is at over 8%. So once that starts coming backwards, starts getting back under control and back down to more normal levels, I think is when we're going to see the markets and everything turn around. And we're hopeful that's going to be sooner than later. But I think we've got more choppiness, more volatility ahead of us until that happens. And that might not happen until 2023. So we want to be prepared for the good times and bad. We've talked about this for the last 6 years on this station, Heather, is having a plan for the good times and bad. These aren't great times. They're not horrible. They're not as bad as it could be, but they're not fantastic. And
surprising to hear, but
we've got to have a plan. It could be worse. It's not horrible, right? There are things we can do. We can take control and put together a plan, and that's what we encourage everybody to do.
I was having a conversation with one of my colleagues this week about working on the stuff that we can control, and that was a work conversation, but I really do think it applies, especially right now in the financial world. Rather than making yourself crazy with all the headlines, all the unknowns, focus on what's right in front of you. Focus on what you can control within your own plan. And sometimes that involves adjusting your mindset a little bit, Abe. We have seen for decades the notion of creating a plan for ourselves that is built around the classic portfolio mix, that 60% stocks, 40% bond setup. And listen, it did provide good returns with balanced risk for many years. However, Matt Brown with Edward Jones was telling Yahoo Finance that 60-40 is no longer keeping up with today's market environment.
You know, the 60-40 portfolio, I can say it here, I think is officially over. I think markets like this have really just once again demonstrated that, you can't just have a portfolio that is only equities and fixed income. The modern portfolio is really a three-dimensional portfolio. It's stocks, bonds, and alternative investments. And most people are talking 50, 30, 20, and 20 being, of course, alternative investments.
Okay, so a couple of things here, what he was saying. One, what do you think about the 50-30-20 portfolio versus a 60-40? Two, do you think the 60-40 is dead? And three, what I wanted to add in is he brought up the idea of bonds, which I feel I've heard a lot of people say, no, do not touch bonds right now.
Yeah, Heather, the 50-30-20 is interesting, and I think he's headed down the right line there. You want to start thinking outside of the box. He mentions alternative investments. I think we certainly want to be looking for alternatives to bonds right now. I'll pick on the U.S. bond aggregate index. It's down 14-15%. A Vanguard bond ETF, which kind of measures the entire bond market right now, is down 15% and change. Is that safe? I don't know, 40% of your portfolio in something that's down 15%,
right?
While the other 60% of your portfolio is down 18, 20, 22%. No.
Right.
To our clients, that's not safe. To us, that's not safe. What's safe is losing a lot less than that, if not nothing, zero, right? Losing zero, that's safe. That's what our clients want on a piece of their portfolio. So that 50-30-20 is interesting, and I agree with him that we need to be looking at alternatives and thinking outside the box when it comes to that 60-40, and I do think the 60-40 is dead. I mean, how can you say it's not? Everything is down right now. Stocks are down. Bonds are down. And bonds aren't down as much as stocks are down. But if you're down 14-16 on the bond side of your portfolio, and you're down 18-22 or more on the stock side of your portfolio, nothing's working. And, what worked in the past, the idea that whole 60-40 stock bond mix, Heather, was that, okay, if stocks were up 10%, your bonds might have been up 4, 5, 6. If stocks were down 10, your bonds were still positive.
Sure.
They were there to soften the blow. You're diversified, different asset classes. Not all of your eggs are in one basket.
Right.
Blah, 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 right?
Right.
Okay, yeah, we've all heard that. But we're in a rising interest rate environment, and we all should know that as interest rates rise, bond values go down. 2 years ago during COVID, they did the opposite. Rates fell, bond values increased. Now they're doing the opposite. And as the Fed continues to raise rates, we'll continue likely to see bond values and principals fall. So we just had a lady call into the show and come into the office. She lives in Loudoun County. She's got $1 million. She's concerned with protection because she's down about $200,000 since January 1st. And this is almost everyone we're meeting with. However, this lady still controls her own destiny. She started off at 1.2. She's got $1 million. And what we found out with her, as we do with many of our prospective clients, is that $1 million she has now, after having lost $200,000 since the beginning of the year, is still enough to retire successfully and with dignity and confidence. Nice. And that's all you need to know. Yeah. Okay, I'm down $200,000. There's nothing I can do about that. It's gone now. I might get some of it back. I might get all of it back. I might not get any of it back. But what I have, even after that loss, is still enough to get me to retirement and to transition successfully. And that's all people care about. And so for this lady and for so many people that come into our office, what we offer is a portfolio x-ray and investment analysis to see, are you a 60-40, a 70-30, a 50-50? Do you have too much cash on the sideline? Are you taking too much risk? What are the costs, fees, and expenses you're paying for those investments in the market? How would you know unless you got a comprehensive, non-biased research report done on all the investment positions that you have that can truly show you all that information? How much risk are you taking? What is it costing you? Is this a direction you want to continue going as you head into retirement? We've seen it all this year, Heather, but we are here to help with all of these different situations. Everyone's situation is different. You know, some people have too much cash, some people have too much stocks, too much risk, too much dead money, etc. And back to this lady who had a 60-40, the way that we helped her out is looking for alternatives to that bond position in her portfolio, which is essentially dead, down 14-15%. Helped her to reduce risk and, most importantly, put together a plan for this transition into her full retirement, a phase 2 comprehensive retirement plan.
Keeping on the conversation about our investment setup, watching the money that you have in your retirement accounts go down, like a lot of us have been doing, is certainly no fun. And market strategist Kenny Polcari was telling Fox Business, don't panic, just be positioned properly.
It's not to the point where you have to light your hair on fire and say, you know, I'm out because it's a disaster. I think you have to have a strong defensive portfolio to weather this storm.
If you've already lost a bunch of money this year, as many people have, Abe, is it too late to take action?
Absolutely not, Heather. We can control what we can. Did you hear him? We need a strong defensive portfolio for this type of environment that we're in. Yep. So you can wonder if the next downturn, this probable recession that we're in right now, will wreck your retirement, or make a plan. Build a customized plan designed to weather most storms, right? We don't know everything that's going to hit us down the road, but we can prepare and we can do everything we can to protect our life savings from all the risks that could mess it up. We just had a couple call into the show, Heather, from Frederick, Maryland, over $1 million saved, already retired in their late 60s, a 5 on our risk scale, just moderate investors and where most people are in terms of their risk tolerance when they're in their 60s and 70s. Problem with them is that they came in to see us down over 20% year to date this year. They're worried about the future. They don't have a plan. They have a big bucket of money, different investments, no plan for income and retirement other than their pension and Social Security, no plan for risk management, really no idea what to do, which is the case oftentimes. So what was the solution for them? A comprehensive retirement plan, and we started with a roadmap. That's the first thing we do with any of our clients is we build out a retirement income plan, a roadmap, so you can see where you're going, and that roadmap we monitor and maintain with you and update every 90 days. Especially in an environment like this where things are changing constantly, where inflation's an issue, where the markets are an issue, we've got to be on top of it. They wanted to know where they're headed, just like anyone would, right? And that's how you do so is with a roadmap. From there, risk management, stop the bleeding, slow down the bleeding, protect a portion of their life savings. From there, income generation, tax planning, all of these things most of our clients are concerned with and need a plan for.
Yeah.
They don't want to be sent to their CPA and then their estate planning attorney and then a Medicare specialist and 5 people before they get a piecemealed plan. No, they want a comprehensive plan that can be done under one roof. That's what we do. So for anyone listening right now, if you would like that same recession-proofing analysis and comprehensive retirement plan to really address everything in a phase 2 plan, that's what we do. That's what we want to offer you. How much risk are you taking? What does it cost you? How much income can your portfolio and life savings generate? Are you paying too much in tax? Are you taking on too much risk? Find out right now through a recession-proofing analysis and comprehensive retirement plan. If you're 55 years old and older, if you've saved $500,000 or more for your retirement, go to retirementkeyradio.com, click on the Contact Us tab at the top of the page, and we can begin to have these same conversations with you as well.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abish. To learn more about Abish Financial Services, visit retirementkeyradio.com. And join Abe for his radio show, The Retirement Key, Saturdays at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m. on WMAL.
Investment advisory services offered through Abish Financial Wealth Management, LLC, number 310633, a registered investment advisor firm. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Abraham Abish is licensed in your state, please call 571-577-9968. Abish Financial Services is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Abraham Abish Inc., Virginia license number 131017.